Hello everyone, this is Tormuse, and today I'm picking up where I left off in the club meetings mod for Doki Doki Literature Club. We're going into episode 49 now. As I said, I should probably make a note here. Stream starting now, refresh if need be, smiley face. Restarting now. There we go. Yeah, jumping right into episode 49. That is episode 13 of the 4th season. We broke the pattern. We're going into the seeming bonus episode of this mod, this episodic mod. Let's go on with this. I'm assuming this is going to be the same message as usual. Then we played only after the official game's been completed. Supposed for the original game. Please accelerate me.text, etc. By playing DDCM episode 49, you agree that you have completed Doki Doki Literature Club, except any spoilers contained within. I agree. And then we get to see the splash message. I can still get all this under control. Uh-oh. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's a good point. That's, sorry, I need to adjust the volume, don't I? Monika is still president. The question of whether or not she should be president at this time did not come up at all. Nobody broached the subject. Nobody even touched the subject at all. Refresh and watching ads? No. Reply. No. I just wanted to see that. Wanted to see that little funny, unhappy face appear on the screen there. Ads complete. Ah, welcome. Yeah. Yeah, I was just commenting on the fact that nobody in the club, and not Miss Ida either, even broached the subject of, hey, is it a good idea for Monika to have the presidency right now? It didn't come up at all. Rather curious. I mean, there are all these hints that there's other stuff going on behind the scenes. I mean, what with the scene in the dean's office and whatnot. And people are having plots and schemes and whatnot. Like, maybe there's some reason that she absolutely has to have the presidency beyond plot contrivance that we, the audience, are just not privy to. But it is rather odd. Thanks, Stream Elements. It is odd that at this point of all points, they would choose to just let her keep the presidency. It makes no sense whatsoever, considering all of everything, all of the established canon for the last 49 episodes. Well, last 48 episodes, I suppose. Makes no sense. Yeah, we're gonna move forward, and presumably this is gonna, this being another episode, there's gonna be a jump of another week or two. Are we gonna see Monika's immediate reaction to Ryan very suddenly moving out without telling her? It's like I said, I'm surprised he didn't do it sooner. It did feel like that's what it was building to. Like, he specifically was afraid of moving in with her in the first place because he didn't want to be a burden to her, and she made it very clear on many levels that he's a huge burden to her, on a level where she has a psychotic breakdown. And even after the psychotic breakdown, she scolded him for telling her what to do. For daring to suggest that she take it easy or whatever. Like, it's easy to see that, like, he's going to interpret that as like particularly with the fact that she told him to hide in his closet while her parents were there and not make a sound. and even after they were gone, she still freaked out. Like it just sends this massive message that he's just nothing but a burden to her. That's making her life worse. Like, it's kind of like, how could he not move out after that? That's what I mean by I'm surprised he didn't sooner. I mean, on the flip side, when he suggested moving out, she had a reaction like how you think, how could you think I'd be that cruel to do that to you or whatever. Yeah. Yeah. And then the thing with Ayami, I mean, okay, there's an ad break coming up in 15 seconds. I'm just going to keep talking through it, I guess. It's kind of funny because one of the dialogue options that is given to the player is to say to Monika that hey, you better make your move, or maybe Ayami will take him. And the response is just so laughably typical. It's the same as the response to anything and everything else that the player says, is that Monika immediately disregards it. I mean, maybe internally she isn't really disregarding it, and that maybe she is thinking about it and stewing about it, and which it might be having a negative impact on her negative health for that matter. But it's like it's just like it's like her immediate go-to reaction with anything the player says to her about like looking after herself or whatever. Like, it's like, oh, I don't think that's such a big deal. Oh, it's nothing to worry about. Oh, I don't think that's an issue. It just immediately shut down anything the player says. It almost makes you wonder, like on one level, like it sort of almost makes you wonder, like what's the point of having the options? But it also makes you wonder, like, what is it she sees in the player that if she doesn't see them as like she all her claims of love and whatnot, like what does she see in the player that she just sees them as someone to immediately disregard? During the only occasions she's able to have any kind of interaction with them. 2:30 ads to go? Oh, yikes. Yeah. Maybe I'll take this moment to maybe I've got a snack waiting for me. I'll just do that while the ads are going. I don't have a whole lot more to say that I haven't already said anyway. I'll be right back. And back again. Although curiously, Crazy Kelly said 2:30 ads to go, which displayed as 2:17 on my end. So I don't know. Anyway, let's start this up. Let's see where this goes. New game. I'm gonna enter Tormuse again. That's how I roll. So we're starting with Natsuki and Yuri's room here. It's playing whimsical music, but I mean, weren't they in a state of being worried about getting split up or kicked out of school or something? Where are we with that particular subplot? Anyway, Natsuki looking shocked about something. ... So yeah, I still see him go in and out of there. Oh no. Is this a flashback to Natsuki finding out about Ryan moving out of Monika's place, or or did she actually not find out about it until a week or two later? Anyway, he definitely doesn't live there anymore. Where is he? Is he living then? He's not back under the bench, is he? No, he's living with Kenzo. But don't tell anyone that. Keep that in the literature club. Otherwise, Kenzo and Ryan could get in trouble. Yeah. And that was the primary reason Ryan didn't move there in the first place. Indeed. Our own residential violation hearing is happening shortly. But still, what a strange development. Did he say why he left Monika's house? No. Just that it was nothing against Monika, who had been very nice to him, just time to move on. Meanwhile, we don't see MC or Yuri on the screen here. It's just frozen shock on Natsuki's face. Yeah, if Natsuki's wager with Keko did somehow center around Monika and Ryan, this could be a really awkward development. Where are MC and Yuri? What are they doing that they don't have sprites on screen at the moment? Anyway, and what does Monika say? She hasn't talked about it at all. If you bring it up, she just brings up how busy she is from having to catch up on everything from when she was sick. So she's deflecting, but appearing to have completely equanimity while doing so, no doubt. Yeah. It does not seem that my beloved is coping well with this information. Nah, it's fine. It could still be on the track to going out. Maybe he had to move out because it was getting too spicy in there. He was too tempted. That doesn't sound very likely, Natsuki. Yeah, you're probably right. But still, situation is definitely salvageable. Oh, she's still scheming. We just need to find out why. Babe, do you think? I will neither spy on Monika nor break into her home for you, beloved. Dang. Guess I have to respect professional burglar ethics. I respect that you respect them. And besides, I am considerably busy with preparations for the tea ceremony. It's still going on. You're still going ahead with that? Indeed. I thought it would be best, instead of just starting a formal club, to proceed directly with the tea ceremony. And then perhaps I can make it a regular group, and once that is stable, then a club can follow. Sure. I mean, having a club specifically for a tea ceremony, I don't know, feels a little off. Like seeing if you can get a group going before turning to club does make sense. Absolutely huffing and coping, Natsuki. I mean, you could say that, but she might have backup plans. Anyway, makes sense. So is it just going to be like literature club people, or question mark? There's a sweat drop on Natsuki here. Is she wanting to be invited to it? Well, I was thinking of inviting a few other people, at least for this first one. Ideal would be a multiple of 5, including the host, which is me. So then, the 5 club members, easy. I was hoping to invite a few more. Ayami and Kenzo, for instance. And if we brought Ryan, that would be Ryan and Monika in a situation together. Sorry, throat's suddenly very rough. Always particularly happens with DDLC streams. Oh well. You make an excellent point. Although Ryan, Ayami, Kenzo, that's only another 3. I have one more in mind besides those, or if I put you in charge of the guest list, can you find another one, or another 6? Yeah, definitely. Good, but it has to be done this week, so I can do the calligraphy for the invitations in time. The calligraphy for the invitations. Yeah. Man, this is serious business, isn't it? It is properly done business. What are your plans for today, MC? Busy day for me, fencing and literature club. And then tonight was going to be the first session of your RPG, right? Indeed. Really looking forward to that. As am I. And you, beloved, what have you to do this day? Not too much. Really do need to go talk to Monika. I really do need to go talk to Monika. Context suggests that it isn't just about the Ryan situation, but maybe it is just about the Ryan situation. I mean, the start of this conversation was that MC and Yuri expressing that he's still coming in and out of there. And from context, it appears they're suggesting that he's still visiting Monika, not just that he's still coming in and out of Kenzo's place. So, Natsuki probably is still holding on to this notion that, hey, maybe there's still something there between them. Anyway, I do need to go talk to Monika about Ryan. I doubt that she would. Nah, I need to give her that stupid challenge the girl from KCU wanted me to give her. She still hasn't delivered that? Even a week or 2 later? When is the KCU event happening? You still haven't done that? I was waiting for Monika to feel better. I didn't want to deliver some weird-ass duel challenge while she was still recovering. Fair enough. Excuse me, MC, if I could just get around to you for one moment. Sure, Yuri. Sorry, it's awfully cramped in here. Guess I got used to having a room to myself. It does take some adjustment. Well, good luck with it. Natsuki, you should probably get on that soon. Monika probably wouldn't like having a sword-fighting duel pending for very long without knowing it. I mean, yeah. Yeah, like there is the question of if Monika is going to be well enough to engage in a duel at all. And yeah, she probably wouldn't appreciate being told that, like at the last minute that, oh yeah, we have a wager riding on this duel that you didn't know was happening with the president of KCU's fencing team. Like, I mean, the fact that Monika's been out of commission for a few weeks, apparently, means that her training has already suffered. So that's going to weigh on her mind, too. Anyway. And can you imagine how that Kengo chick would react if I didn't deliver it? She'd be like, "Thou hast besmirched mine honor," or some shit. She seems a little less prissy than that, but only a little. Okay, I gotta get going. Thanks for letting me stop in, ladies. It is always our pleasure to host you. Yeah, stop by anytime. Or anytime as long as we're still living here, I guess. Will do. Have a good day and see you guys at club. Still can't believe Ryan moved out of Monika's place. That is a setback, no hiding it. Still, maybe it can end up in them being closer. Hard to say right now. What do you think, babe? Babe? Were you... For goodness sake, don't ambush us with that. I hate that sprite. I don't know. It's just obnoxious that it's sort of the go-to sprite for the go-to Yuri self-harming sprite. I mean, so is Natsuki. I mean, yeah, like the implication that she just casually went off to do that while MC was still in the room is troubling too. I mean, I don't know, like the Yuri's whole approach to self-harm in this mod in general is kind of, I don't know what's the word. I mean, like the way I wrote her in Storm was what I wrote that mod. Like this is something that she's trying to stop doing, and it's a symptom of depression and wanting to punish herself and so on. So really casual is what I was going for. Well, yeah. And so far, we still haven't. The mod still has not addressed Yuri's hypocrisy on any level about like being so dead set against Natsuki smoking that she went and threw her cigarettes out, but is still going with, oh, I'm still going to keep self-harming. This is non-negotiable. The kind of reaction, kind of deal. But yes, deserving casualty is what you're going for. Of course. That much is clear. I mean, when you said, "Babe, were you extended hyphen?" I had a feeling this was coming, but I was like, "Gosh darn it." I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. It's a combination of things. Like for one thing, like this is a sign of some very bad self-harm here. This degree of like this number of open wounds and so on. That sort of sprite is way reserved for like the Act 2 version of Yuri when like she's absolutely losing control and whatnot. I made a point of in Storm, like she's as much as it's her habit is something she wants to stop and it's a sign of her losing control. Like she does have some measure of control over it. And keeps it to a regular ordered thing, and that she has rules for herself about. Whereas here it's like it bugs me that it's sort of the default sprite for depicting your self-harm, because it is I don't know, it shows a lack of control. That's not the right phrase. It just shows a degree of how bad off her self-harm habit is that doesn't seem in keeping with in keeping with a lot of how she conducts herself, I suppose. I don't know how to explain it. I wish I had a less severe sprite for it. I mean, they do exist. But yeah, I commissioned like the in Storm the underwear sprite for Yuri. There are visible scars on her arms, but they aren't as they aren't as egregious as this. Anyway, moving along. Apologies, I was not listening. Yeah, I can even see that. For God's sake, here, stop bleeding everywhere and let's get this cleaned up. When did you even do this? Just as MC was leaving the room. I tried to keep it mostly service level so that I could remain quiet and not disturb him. But why? I am not entirely sure. It was a combination of factors. It was somewhat distressing to hear of Ryan and Monika. I'm stressed and pressured to complete preparations for my tea ceremony. I felt perhaps a twinge of jealousy at being reminded of this striking white-haired girl who seems to have impressed you with her vocabulary. Oh, babe, she isn't half as pretentious as you are about the way she talks. How comforting. But anyway, it was many feelings at once to manage. I felt a need. I wish you didn't have that need. But I feel so much better afterwards, beloved. It's like I bleed out all of my anxieties and stresses, the loud and obnoxious thoughts that torment me. They drain away in the sting and in the ritual. I just wish we could get you doing something else. Yeah, I mean, it's been a while since that kind of suggestion came up. Yeah. I mean, finding an alternative to the self-harm seems like a good idea. It's not a healthy habit. Like, yeah, yeah. It's one of those things. Like, I don't know how to put it into words. I mean, there are a lot of details about the way the self-harm is handled in this mod that I find troubling and unsettling. I guess I mean, it's not supposed to be something you're exactly comfortable with. And welcome back to Spooky Waters. Have you considered smoking? Hey, that would be the perfect response. Like I've been saying all along. I mean, they just need to make a deal. Hey, if Yuri gets to insist that Natsuki stops smoking, Natsuki gets to insist that Yuri stops self-harming. Like, that's, fair is fair. I don't know why that suggestion has not come up at all. Like, it seems like so obvious to me. But yeah, like it's the same. It's the same thing as with the scene at the end of season 1 where Sayuri is, when she lobotomizes the club, not just because of the whole lobotomy thing. It's the fact that people who are in that mindset are typically trying to find reasons to stop doing it. Like the times when the urge to like not that I can claim to be an expert in self-harming or anything. Like I don't engage in that level of self-harming myself, but my understanding is that like the urge to do it gets strongest when there's nobody around and there's less excuse to not do it. The fact that Yuri's doing it right in front of doing it when people are so close by, and even doing it right in front of Natsuki is the really troubling part about it. It's moved beyond being this troubling secret that she has that she wants, or it's like it doesn't trouble her that she has this habit that and she doesn't want to stop. And it's the same sort of thing with the like the Sayuri's suicide attempt at the end of season 1 of this series. That not just that it's not just the fact that she wanted to end herself. It's the fact that like even with her friends standing in front of her begging her not to do it, she still just went and did it right in front of them. Like lobotomized them right in front of them and decided to go forward with it anyway. I don't know. I guess it just not that I'm trying to criticize Crazy Kaylee's writing choices or anything. It feels it just feels at odds with what I take to be the normal experience of such urges, whether it's self-harm or suicidal ideation. I don't know. Yeah, like people in that sort of state, they typically don't actually want to do it. I don't know. It's. I mean, Yuri's whole self-harm origin is different from how I express it in my own works. So maybe to some degree, it's fighting with my notion of how Yuri's character is, but it's also just, I don't know. It sort of doesn't sit well in general in my mind, I guess. I don't know. I'm not saying it's impossible for characters to act that way. It just, I don't know, comes across atypical to me, I guess, for people in that sort of state. I don't know if I'm making sense. I'm just gonna move on. I just wish we got you doing something else. What's going to happen if you we have to live separately? What if I can't be there to stop you from cutting so much? What if I can't tend to your arm? What if you really hurt yourself because I'm not there? But, beloved, it's not as though I only began cutting after we knew each other. I tended to myself for a long time before we dated. Did she? I mean, Natsuki, there's a conversation back in season 3 that sort of indicated that Yuri wasn't so good at tending to herself. Like not cleaning the wound or whatnot. Anyway, I know, but now I've gotten used to helping you and knowing you're okay because of it, and you shouldn't be cutting in the first place. Sorry, I freaked out. No, I am sorry, beloved. It is difficult to be the cause of pain for you, and I truly empathize with you. I wish... Yeah, what do you wish? No, the thought is not yet mature. I must ponder a bit longer. The thought is not yet mature. That's an interesting way of framing it. In the meantime, we must get to our classes. Like she needs to think about how to put it into words for longer. The thought is not yet mature. Music as to our classes. Thank you for the loving care of my arm. When I feel the gauze tight against my skin, it is like you are cradling my arm yourself when you wrap it. You are such a sweetie. But don't be ruining my perfectly good wrap by cutting again today, okay? I will not. Thank you, beloved. Have an exquisite day. You too. Yuri kisses Natsuki slowly on the forehead. Natsuki kisses Yuri back just as slowly on the cheek. Oh, okay, and this goes here. Oh, we're cutting back to the original literature club. I can't believe what a mess in the morning class who always leaves in this room in. Maybe you'd be better off transferring to a different room. Maybe we could get a better one. Isida? Is everything okay? Yes, Ria, everything's fine. Just a little weary today. Are you working too hard again? I promised you wouldn't work too hard. And that you'd take time off from the club if you needed to. No, it's not work too hard. I was just up very late last night. Not working, but staying up perhaps irresponsibly late for fun. For fun. Does that imply that she's drinking? I mean, with her track record? Or is she up, like, lost in thought, contemplating what she talked to Monika about? For fun, you say? Yeah. Well, that's different. I like to stay up late. Stay up late sometimes too. How late were you up? Around 1:30, 2 a.m. I think. Oh, amateur numbers. Ria looks alarmed though. Man, I've stayed up late, like to 10:30 once, but never that late. 10:30. Hee hee. That's crazy. Oh, I'm sure you'll stay up later than that as you get older. I don't know. I get so sleepy every day right at 9:45. Just you wait until college next year, Ria. I'm sure you'll find yourself staying up very late. I mean, that's my experience. You'd probably after a certain age, but any working at all is working too hard. Yeah. I mean, none of those numbers are in the those numbers are in the Bible. Yeah. Anyway, you're thinking of the club members from last year who are at college now, huh? How'd you know? You would think about them a lot. It's really sweet how much you worry about them. Makes me feel really fuzzy to know you'll think about me once I graduate too. I will. Very late, yeah. I've got to take this. Be right back, and then I'll start actually helping clean up for club later. Hey, what's up? I can't talk long. I've got to help Ria. Da-da-da. Kind of weirdly specific, but I don't see why not. Kind of weirdly specific, but I don't see why not. Who could she be talking to now? ... What? Are you crazy? That's a terrible idea. Okay, she's probably talking to Natsuki. Yeah, I need to shift to the left a bit so you can see. I put my figurines up behind me there. I mean, I only have the two. Both of them were gifts. I'm not really a figurine collecting type of person, but that's Hornet behind me, and behind her is Homura from Puella Magi Madoka Magica. I wanted to bring attention to them at some point. I can't really like sitting in a normal spot where I'm like where they have the monitor in front of me. They aren't terribly visible. I had to shift my webcam over a bit. So. She's probably talking about, yeah. Kind of see the figurines, yeah. It's a little thumbnail image, so they're kind of hard to see. Nice pair of characters, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Hornet was a very recent addition that is a birthday gift from last year. Homura has been there longer. She's Homura from Puella Magi Madoka Magica. Yes, like lately, in more recent years, I've sort of been watching a bunch of anime, but at the time, I wasn't into anime, and like, someone asked, hey, do you watch any anime? And I was kind of like, I don't know, I mentioned Puella Magi Madoka Magica, because it was kind of like the only anime I'd watched, and that only that because someone recommended it me for you know that dark twist or whatever, however you want to frame it. They wanted to see my reaction to it. The said friend who got me the figurine somehow instinctively knew that Homura would be my favorite character. She's such a tragic character. I mean, if you know the show. Yeah, I don't know why she's holding. It looks like she's holding a bow or something, some kind of long bow. She doesn't have that weapon in the show. It's a sort of a. The show it's a subversion of the magical girl trope, where like high school age girls have transform and have secret superpowers or whatever. Yeah, I think that her weapon of choice in the figurine might be lifted from the movie or something. I watched the first season of the show. I didn't watch all the spin-offs and stuff. That's not true. I watched the side stories. The side stories sucked. It's oh, don't get me started about the side stories. I don't know. Is this time for another proper Terbius tangent? Should I go on a rant about the Madoka side stories? Yeah, the side stories. Let's see. I mean, it had some moments which were passable, but it's mostly like has a totally uninteresting main character. Like, she has interesting visual design, but she's just a boring character who has no character traits. She's just there as a vehicle to move the plot along and to react to things happening around her, to the more interesting characters. And she has this thing about having a long-lost sibling or something that's teased in the first episode, and then you never hear it mentioned again until it's teased again in the final episode as some kind of, I don't know, stinger cliffhanger thing. Maybe that's a spoiler, but it's just like, it's like the only thing interesting about her backstory is only vaguely referenced, and then she's just a boring character. Like, and everything else that happens in it's like they try to redo the same twist from the original show, only they do it more badly. And it's like, who is this show for? Like, any audience who already watched the original show already knows about what's going to happen. So it's like, so that twist is not, it's not going to carry the same weight. But they also bring in the characters of the original show as cameos, so someone who hasn't watched the original show isn't going to know who they are, and the cameos are going to mean nothing. You know what I mean? Like, the show doesn't know who its audience is. If the audience is people who watched the original show, then the twist is going to mean nothing. And if it's people who haven't watched the original show, then the cameos are going to mean nothing. It's just it's kind of a mess. Anyway, I think the movie is supposed to be better, and it was available on Netflix back when I had a Netflix account, and and then they took it down just before, when I was considering watching it, and I sort of regret that I didn't watch it when I had the chance. Surge's Law Strikes Again, I suppose so. And the side stories things feels like a lame, like it's a lamest of lame cash-in, trying to ride the success of the original show, and just did it badly. Yeah, wasn't happy with that. But the original show was pretty cool. I enjoyed it. I wouldn't mind watching it again. And Homer is a cool character. Yeah. Anyway, that's enough of ranting. I'm gonna move on with the mod now. That is a terrible idea. No. ... Okay, fine. What in the world could be happening in this conversation here? Rhea doing a face journey while the conversation's happening. God, I'm incapable of saying no to you, Tilda. Whoa. What could that mean? Maybe we're going back to the idea of her having a crush on Yuri. Maybe it's Yuri talking to her. He has an experienced adult woman, knows the Tilda technique. Yeah. Ida busting out the Tilda, yeah. Cabo saying no to you, Tilda. When is it? Okay. But I'll be there in disguise, just so you know. Miss Ida going to... What kind of plot has this mysterious individual gotten her into here? We are not sitting together. No, we will be arriving separately. No! What? What is this mysterious person repeatedly suggesting that Miss Ida must repeatedly say no to? I gotta go. I'll talk to you later. You should have brought this up weeks ago. I mean, again, if this is... Natsuki or Yuri, or could this be tied in with the fencing bout? I mean, presumably Natsuki would have told Yuri about excuse me. You've been using the Tilda longer than you kids have been alive. Yeah, Kenko Caldita, yeah. Imagine that. Yeah, I don't know, like, I don't actually think that Miss Ida was expressing having some kind of crush on Yuri. I can't imagine her saying, "God, I am incapable of saying no to you," and breaking out the tilde in response to anything that you were saying in that kind of context. Like, particularly in like, since Monika said, like, when are you going to tell her? And Miss Ida replies with never. Okay, I'm gonna move right along. Should have brought this up weeks ago. Like, so this was talking about something that could have been brought up weeks ago. It suggests that this other person knew about this thing weeks ago, which sort of ties into the possibility that maybe this is about the planned bout with KCU and so on. Anyway, moving along. Okay, yeah, that tracks. Anyway, I'll call you soon. Take care of yourself. Bye. Okay, sorry. No problem. You know, you were talking loud enough for me to hear everything, right? I always forget how well sound travels through that door when I'm the one talking. Anyway, yes, and anyway, I know why you were up late now. Uh-oh. Maybe they just found out themselves recently? You were talking to that boy. That's... ... true. Now let's get this cleaned up. I'm going to miss doing this with you once you graduate. Don't be sad, Miss Ida. I'll still stay in touch with you. Well, you don't have to, but it sure has been nice working with you this year. You too. I can't get the voices just right because my throat's too gravelly. Drinking all the water isn't helping. Just making me have to pee more, darn it. Anyway, Ryan is standing at Monika's door. Uh-oh. Well, presumably whatever fallout occurred from Ryan suddenly leaving in the middle of the night has already occurred, and this is like the awkward stilted follow-up where neither one wants to admit what they feel or whatever. You call me if you need help cleaning up. You don't know what you're signing up for? Oh no. Cleaning up what, though? What could they possibly be cleaning up after having fun? Never mind. Moving on. Ryan is standing at Monika's door. He knocks on the door. Then he waits. He waits for Monika to figure out that the knocking sound is not a hallucination. A voice comes through the door. Ryan? Yeah, it's me. For heaven's sake, why are you knocking? Well, because this is your house, and I don't live here anymore. Monika's sad face during that line. Well, I don't remember ever saying you couldn't live here anymore. So I get you moved out. You are still welcome in here at any time as far as I'm concerned, even without knocking. I appreciate that. So, what brings you here? Oh, this is blushing from Monika here. It had just, it'd been a while since I checked on you last. I wanted to make sure that you were doing okay still. Yes, I'm doing much better now. Getting 8 or 9 hours of sleep every night for several weeks now. Wow. Or 9. I mean, I wouldn't necessarily put it past her to lie about it, but I mean, she hasn't always been honest about it up till this point. But anyway, whatever. That's good. ... That's really good. ... Yeah. What did I say about awkward, stilted interaction between them? So, was that all? Yeah, I guess that's about it. ... Well, I see you at fencing today. Of course. I take it you'll be there too. Yeah, I will. ... I... They look at each other. I hope you... Yeah? Hope you, have fun at fencing. Yeah, I'm sure I will. ... I'm glad you're okay. I'll see you at fencing. Yeah, looking forward to it. Bye, Monika. Bye. ... Ryan exhales, puts his hands in his pockets, and leans with his back against the door. I mean, these do not sound like the actions of someone who is, like, over Monika and, like, ready to move on to Ayami or whatever. Oh, well. Monika's standing at her door, touching the door with her hand. At her door? Like, sorry. Are we suggesting that they're, like, on either, like, the door is here and both of them are on either side of it? Or is this her bedroom door? Presumably, I think it's former. Totally over it? Yeah. Touching the door with her hand. Exclamation points. She turns away from the door and begins whispering. Tormes, I didn't realize he would just come in here after that. I feel bad for him. Hang on. I wish he didn't feel that he didn't have to leave. Wish he didn't feel that he didn't have to leave. Is it fix that one already? Okay. I was just gonna say, like, this double negative is confusing me. I'm trying to interpret it. But yeah, I wish he didn't feel he had to leave. It makes more sense. He was more than welcome to stay. ... You know, it was nice having him here. I was getting used to him just being around the place, but I guess I understand why he did what he did. Why he felt he had to leave. I didn't want to think about... No. And Monika's sad now. Yes, the highest symbolic. Anyway. Sorry. Okay. That's enough. I really don't have time to spend feeling sorry for myself. Time to get on with my plans for the day. Need to go see the dean. He invited me to his office. You probably knew all about that. And I actually put the finishing touches on my club mod. It's not quite done yet, actually. And as I have been repeatedly reminded, I must leave enough time to rest and decompress. So, we'll talk later. I can't now. Yep. What's this now? I don't think we've seen this background before. She talking about conning the professor into letting her do some makeup assignment or whatever. Although I still, like... I still say you don't have to con the professors into that sort of thing. It's like, most professors are generally willing to help their students. At least in my experience. At least in the college that I went to. Anyway. Honestly, Kagami, you're the most frustrating student I've ever taught. It's clear to me that you are more than capable of understanding this material. But it's also clear to me that you didn't spend an instant's worth of effort on the original assignment. Oh, come on, Professor. I'm here, aren't I? I'm at office hours. That's me putting in effort. Yes, I suppose that's true. I don't know about just letting you turn in makeup assignments and changing the grades, though. Oh, yeah? Why not? You just said I understand the material. Isn't that what matters? I said you're capable of understanding the material, and it wouldn't be fair to the other students. Especially the ones who tried their hardest the first time around. I'm willing to let you do things to retrieve your grade in this course from disaster, but it's not going to be that easy. There have to be some consequences for mistakes. So how about this? You do makeup assignments for these, but that just gives you the chance to clear away your old grade, and then I'll then give you new assignments which I'll enter in as your new grade. So we have to do 3 times the work basically. No, you don't have to. We can leave things as they are. If you go forward from here putting in an appropriate amount of effort, you can probably salvage your grade to a C- if you're lucky and do well on the final. But definitely at least a passing grade. But if you want the chance to show that you can excel, then yes, you owe me double makeup assignments. I'll do the extra assignments. Oh, very good. Then, very good then. Redo the ones you want to make up credit on, and I'll give you the secondary assignments when you do that, assuming the redone ones are up to par. You look surprised. I suppose I am, a bit. I expected that you would just want to do the minimum necessary to salvage. Well, you're wrong. I have standards to uphold. Clearly. Well, I'm glad I spoke to your brother about you. It's good to see you so motivated now. Glad I... Oh dear. Kagami probably doesn't appreciate MC being brought into the conversation. And it's also probably maybe a little presumptuous of the professor to presume that him talking to MC had anything to do with Kagami wanting to turn things around. Kagami, well, now I'm not doing it exactly. Insert the Pengu meme on that subject. Anyway, he is not the reason I'm motivated. Yeah, no, but it's true though. I mean, like. And it's sort of like being told to do it. It has a way of dampening your enthusiasm for doing it, for doing something you would have done anyway. And frankly, it's sort of the same theme with the whole Monika Ryan situation and with Natsuki and Yuri situation back in the day, back in seasons 2 and 3. Like. Everyone saying that Natsuki and Yuri should get together made all that much harder for Natsuki to admit that she had feelings for Yuri, and it's probably a similar thing going on with Monika, like making it all the harder to even consider Ryan as an option. Anyway, moving on. He's not the reason I'm motivated. And when did you talk to him about all this? Just a few weeks ago. He was practically offended that I suggested he try to motivate you. Said you were brilliant, that you didn't need anything from him to improve. Well, maybe he might have actually have helped me a little bit. That's good to know. And Monika in the dean office. Monika, hello. Good morning, sir. Close the door, won't you? Of course. Door closing sound effect. I assume you know why you're here. I'm actually not sure. Well, I mean, for purposes of her scheme, Monika would have to play dumb, of course. Anyway, if that were true, you would have been much more anxious coming in here. I mean, not necessarily, but If you're going to pretend not to know, you need to do a better job of acting. Have a seat. I prefer to stand, thanks. As you like. You're here because you broke into this office a number of weeks ago. You assumed, perhaps, that you would not be recorded doing so. But you were. This office has cameras. Care to explain yourself? I had my reasons. And what were those reasons? What if I prefer not to say? Well, no one can force you to say, but since I'd be inclined to pursue disciplinary action against a student who broke into my office without an obvious good reason, perhaps it is in your best interest. ... No? Well, yeah. I mean, for purposes of Monika's machinations, she probably requires the dean to reach his own conclusions. The dean to reach their own conclusions. Like, she's probably counting on them inferring from context that she's looking for a place for Ryan to stay. And maybe that is actually her goal, and maybe it isn't. But I don't know. Anyway, moving on. Well, perhaps I could make it easier for you. I also know that you accessed another student's confidential records, and that you did so without proper authorization, and that, until recently, that student was living with you. So, Anything to say about that? I was just trying to help him. Well, I can believe that easily enough. But why? What were you trying to do? Monika's sad face. I can't say. Why not? I can't say that either. I really don't want to have to take action against you, Monika, but you're not giving me a lot to work with here. I know you're a very intelligent girl academically, and in some ways you may be quite clever. Use of the word girl rather than women. This post-secondary education, they're adults now. Whatever. But I think perhaps you've been too clever by half this time. Too clever by half? Okay, that's a curious choice of expression. So this can go several ways. The way I would like it to go is that you're open and honest with me, and then we can work together on finding a way out of our mutual difficulties. The way I would not like it to go, well... Monika, I need you to say something here. I have nothing to say. Well... The dean gets up and opens the door to his office. Oh, got an ad break coming in 4 minutes and 55 seconds, FYI. You should get a disciplinary notice in a day or two. I hope not. I'm sorry. What's this smile and I hope not? What's she implying here? I definitely hope not. Is this some other manipulative tactic that she's using here? Anyway, he closes the door. Explain. Well, if I got a disciplinary notice, I'd have to defend myself against it. The Mackies, bro, yeah. And I would probably have to bring up the fact that the dean had someone break into my house. The dean had someone break into my house? So... Is she suggesting someone other than the mystery student who came to the supposedly drunk to her door that one time, or that would probably be relevant to my defense. I guess it's a good thing I collected fingerprints from my house after that happened, and stored the fingerprints I took in a safe place. ... Even if so, you'd still have... And then remembered the face of the person who the dean had break into my house. It was kind of sloppy of them to break in after they pretended to be a drunk student knocking on my door. So I tracked them, and covertly got their fingerprints, which is how I started down the road to figuring out that they were not actually a student here. Yeah, which is why the student was in scare quotes, I suppose. To break in after they pretend to be a drunk student. So she wasn't on, like, this wasn't a case of someone breaking in and then Monika being onto them. Like, she was onto them before the break-in happened. What is what we're getting at here? Anyway. And that they were really someone working for you in some kind of extremely shady capacity. ... Which is also how I know that their real name is no... All right, you've made your point. Real name is no... N-O long hyphen. Or I guess, is that called an M-dash? Whatever the term for that is. Is that supposed to be a reference to something? I don't think we know anyone whose name starts with N-O in this mod, do we? Feels like a reference to something. I don't know. Not Kenko, though, I guess. Anyway, all right, you've made your point. You could have just led with that. Well, it was a good chance for me to work on my acting. Apparently, it needs improvement. The dean grins. Well, none of this changes the question I first asked you. What were your reasons for doing this? What do you want, Monika? I mean... I've asked this question a gajillion times so far this mod, and I'm still not convinced that she knows. Anyway, That truly is all I want to know. I appreciate your frankness, and I'll be open and honest with you now. I just wanted to make sure we knew where we stood first. The student who was living with me, Ryan? Boyfriend? No. I found out that he was homeless. He's an orphan, and he told me he had his meals covered as a student in need. But the Student Affairs wouldn't give him costless housing because he was supposed to be receiving government aid, but the government had to terminate his aid because he was in college. I see, and what did he do about this? Well, he went to Student Affairs, and they were looking into it since before the year started, but then he had to start classes here, and he had nowhere to go. So he was just sleeping under a bench. That's why he was living with me. We're not together. I was just very worried about what would happen to him if winter came around and he was still trying to make that bench work. So that explains why he was living with you, but does not explain why you felt the need to tamper with Student Affairs records or break into my office. What exactly were you hoping to achieve there? How is that going to get him housing? Sir, can we just get him housing and call that the end of it? I promise I won't do things like this again. I just didn't want to see him having to lay under that bench night after night. And outbreak is imminent, so we'll find out the response after I get back. I'll be right back. And I'm back again. Sorry. Rapidly eating snack in between. During the break. And we're back, indeed. Yeesh. I tried clearing my throat during the break. It's not helping. Anyway. I just didn't want to see him having to lay under that bench night after night. Never complaining, always insisting everything was going to be fine, and never willing to make a big deal about his own circumstances. Someone had to be outraged, and someone had to do something about it. If I end up having to endure the consequences of doing that, then so be it. But it wasn't right, and it wasn't okay. It wouldn't be hilarious if, after all this, like, Monika gets Ryan a place to stay, and then they end up getting together anyway, and Ryan ends up moving in with Monika after all. Oh well, anyway. It wasn't okay. Can't we just get him a place to stay? Oh, she's turning on the waterworks now. Bring on the crocodile tears. Dean, these goddamn students, yeah, exactly. The dean puts his hand on Monika's shoulder. Okay. I was trying to figure out where they were sitting in relation to each other. I mean, I guess maybe the background doesn't necessarily actually match what's the setting of the room. But has he been standing this whole time? I thought maybe he was like sitting behind the desk or something. I mean, he did get up to open the door and then close it again. I suppose that established that they're still standing. The extremely sincere Monika crying, of course. Anyway, the dean puts his hand on Monika's shoulder. Yes, we can. I'll get it done today. And I'll let you alone. I'll let you alone and you let me alone. So let's neither of us have any more of these games against each other, okay? You have a good heart, Monika, but I'm not fooled by your act, and you're not being open and honest. Here's what I think. You somehow knew already that I had security cameras in here, and that I'd hear about it if you tamper with student files. And you also somehow predicted that I would react to it by having you investigated in the way I did. So it was your plan all along to be caught, yes? I mean, that's what I inferred. Anyway, that's the only explanation for why you didn't try to hide your identity while breaking in here. That would have been a very basic precaution to take even if you didn't specifically know about the cameras. One I no longer believe you would have forgotten about. You're just as sharp as I was led to believe. I'm sorry, sir, really I am. I just had to make sure that Ryan was going to get housing at the end of the day, by any means necessary. Well, clearly you and I have much in common. I mean, that does feel like what is having been set up here. I mean, if the dean was also engaging in his own machinations to find out what's going on with Monika and so on, I mean, hell, maybe he's a good foil for her. I mean, if he wasn't the dean, maybe maybe Monika should go after the dean. He, she, they, them. I don't know. Have we established the gender of the dean? I don't recall. She addressed the dean as sir. He's a he? Okay. Well, clearly you and I have much in common. But Monika, that's still not being open and honest. Yes, it is. I've told you everything. I mean... Dean pulls off a mask and it's Mina. Yeah. Except she just beat her again. Yeah. I mean, what else could the dean be referring to? I mean, presumably he's not talking about the super reality thing. But who knows? I mean, she did kind of haphazardly change her house to back into the shack and then back again. Could it be that the dean had monitored? Would you be aware of that? Like, what would he even say in that case? I've told you everything. Huh, I wonder. I think there's still one more thing left unexplained. But maybe you're just not being honest with yourself about that. I mean, that's also possible. I'll find Ryan housing. But given everything that I can see about the situation, I really feel you ought to ask yourself, do you really want me to? Of course I do. The whole point of this was that he'd never go back to that bench. And he won't. But perhaps he would prefer it if he lived somewhere other than student housing. He's suggesting that he move back in with her. I mean, you can't really force that on Monika. Anyway. But I guess that's why he's posing that as a question. ... Him leaving was his choice, not mine. With lots of M's. I see. Well, Monika, I wish you well, and you have my word that I'll start the process of giving Ryan the option of moving into free student housing today. I'll have him approached in one of his classes. We won't try to figure out where he's living or who he's living with just at the moment. Thank you. That's a big source of concern to him. One more thing before you go, Monika, just a small piece of advice. Sir? You're a very tough woman, Monika. Oh, we switched from girl to woman now. I can see you're used to dealing with very large problems, but you still have warmth to you, love, and I get the sense that you're used to pushing that down to achieve your goals. You can't do that forever without your heart growing cold. I mean, that seems to be the direction that the narrative was pointing, but it's interesting that the dean of all people is the one delivering this. Anyway, and believe me, that's not a situation you want to be in. It's a hard one to ... recover from. Trust me. So are we unlocking the dean's backstory now? Anyway, make room in yourself for that warmth. It's okay to feel loved. That's all. Love has never been the problem for me. If anything, I've gone much too far for love in the past. I'm just still trying to figure out ... what love really is. What is love? Anyway, I mean, I was just typing. Yeah, I know. It was there. Indeed, well, I've been reliably informed. Baby, don't hurt me. Don't hurt me. No more. Yes, exactly. But yeah, that's the whole thing. I've brought this up a gajillion times so far. Like ever since season 1. Does Monika even understand what love is? What does it mean to her? What does a relationship look like to her? What like she talks about loving the player, but it's like, does she have a clear understanding of what she wants? Anyway, moving on. Well, I guess that's a normal enough part of the college experience. Doesn't take breaking into the dean's office to tell you that. But be well, Monika. It was a pleasure... meeting you. It's been a long time since anyone has... challenged me quite like you have. I feel the same way. I know you haven't seen much of Hao, but I've gotten to know you pretty well, sir. And I have a lot of respect for you. Do you play chess? I love chess. Oh, I thought you might. Perhaps you'd like to come by once a week if you have time for a game or two. What? That's interesting. I mean, we've already like strongly hinted that Monika did some kind of extensive research of the Dean before hatching this scheme. So she, I guess maybe probably already knew that he's apparently like really into chess. What you know, I only play 4D chess. I don't know. Inviting her to play chess with him? That's interesting. Anyway, combine once a week for time. I have a game or two. It might be more productive for us than more of this kind of thing. I greatly enjoy playing in person, but I never seem to find both time and the opponents. I'd really like that, sir. Any day but Wednesdays are all right. All right. I'll email you. Be well, Monika. You too. Well, that was an interesting scene. Did Monika's facial parts fade in separately from the rest of her sprite there? Does this episode lack the at flatten line? Anyway, how many dimensions of chess are you on right now? Yeah. Ah, hello again. That was a bit touch and go for a while there. Rather complicated piece of business, and one that I'll probably only be able to do once. It's easy enough to fool someone who doesn't respect you. But if he didn't respect me before, he does now. I'll admit it's been nice to have a battle against someone who's capable of having one with me. I have a fire in me that really thrives in competition, much as I don't like to let it show. But I played a lot of cards to win this, and had initial conditions in my favor already. Hopefully we won't run into each other any further. Lucky for me, it really is true that all I wanted was for Ryan to have a place to live. It's only fair. You know, it makes sense that you'd see that whole interaction I just had. It definitely feels like a plot event, you know? Never yet used at flatten, sadly? Oh, okay. Now that does explain some things. I mean, I thought maybe, I don't know. You can move on. Plot event, you know? I'm glad you got to see it, I suppose. You've seen a lot of stuff these last few months with me and Ryan. I guess that's plot significant too. You know what I missed, though? There were so many things you never saw. Little things that weren't plot significant. And I'm not just talking about Ryan, although I spent plenty of time with him while he was living there. I mean, like, sitting on the couch with a TV table and a plate of something simple I made myself to eat. And I'm just sitting there eating, and there's no camera on me, and I'm just really there alone. I used to dread moments like that, but now they feel really peaceful. In a way, they were even more peaceful when Ryan was around. But, well, you know. Maga, there you are. I've been looking effing everywhere for you. Did you try messaging her? She about to hand her the challenge box now? Like, Natsuki, why are you carrying a box that says challenge on it? Anyway, not in your class halls, not in the club room, not in the kendo hall, not in any of the food spots. So I thought, aha, you know what? She's probably in the admin building doing some Monika bullshit. Well, as it turns out, you're right. I am indeed in the admin building. You're not gonna finish finish Natsuki's qualification there. I just will Natsuki, yeah. And doing Monika bullshit. Hell yeah, I knew you would be. I am a genius. Well, I've got to ask, why didn't you just text or call? I mean, yeah, that's the logical thing to do. Wait, no, there was a reason. Someone asked me to find you in person and give you this. A wooden box. Here, flip it over. Oh, I see. A challenge letter. How charmingly old-fashioned. I assume this is related to the fencing club? Who in the club would know about this tradition, though? Are you challenging me? Husky, never mind that now, yeah. It would be like you to figure out this old ritual just for the sake of a bit, because you wanted to have a bout with me. Yeah, and it'd be just like you to try and puzzle out who sent it instead of just friggin' opening it. I mean, admittedly, I find myself doing that a bit too. Like, reading a line on the screen in the mod and going, what could this character mean by this? Anyway, but no, wasn't me. Monika opens the box and unfolds the letter inside. This is really beautiful calligraphy. ... Wait, what? Natsuki, what did the person who gave this to you look like? Really bright white hair, which was like down to her thighs, was the major feature I remember. Down to her thighs, you say? Does that get in the way when fencing? Okay. Talked kind of like Yuri, but less medieval scholar and more medieval lord, if you understand. The hair is definitely what I was looking for. It really was Kenko Kajiro. So, is this girl really all her pompous ass claimed to be? Is she really that good? Good isn't really a sufficient word, I think. She's a true master. She's not just going to represent Japan at the Olympics, she's actually a medal favorite. A medal favorite? Oh. As in, like, top 3 in the world kind of deal. It would probably be fair to say that she's one of the best fencers alive. Well, why don't you marry her then? So is the whole way she presents herself, like her whole weird honorable samurai shtick, is that just her being a poser? I don't know, I've never met her before, but I've heard the stories about it. If it's a shtick, she's certainly very committed to it, but I think it's sincere. Fencing is very important to her, and she goes out of her way to treat it with respect. That's why she sent me this. So, what exactly does she want? She wants to fence you? Yeah, she wants to face me at the upcoming tournament we're having. Yeah, how are pairings going to happen in that tournament anyway? What's the structure? Well, basically, both schools have a numbered list with their fencers on it. And then you just pair off. Our number 14 fences their number 14, our number 13 fences their number 13, and so on up to number 1. Whichever school wins more bouts wins the tournament. So, that's how it works. How is it going to be possible for her to challenge you? Well, I think it's pretty obvious who KCU's number 1 fencer will be. So I think this is her challenging me to face her by listing myself as our number 1. Well, I mean, you are our number 1, so fair enough. What are you ing for? Oh crap, there's metagame here. What does Natsuki mean by there's metagame here? Is she, is that her way of acknowledging the players here, that the audience is on, the camera is on them, so to speak? Or is she, or is she considering listing someone else as number 1 to foil Kenko's plan or something? Or anyway, if she beats you, then that stops you from beating someone else. Couldn't we like flip it? What if we put you last and basically guarantee you to win that way? You're not nearly as good as on the whole as they are. Maybe with this challenge, she's just trying to metagame you into playing it straight and not trying to drop the roster to maximize win probabilities. Okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah. Wait, probabilites? Uh-oh, I found a typo. You're missing an I there. I'm gonna make a note of that. This one, cool. Thanks. Yeah. Yeah. No, it's true though. I mean, if Monika's the best one in the team, then it probably works in Kenko's favor to play against Monika. But hypothetically, it might work in Monika's favor if she puts herself last, so she's fighting against their worst fighter, so they have a chance of getting a win on the board. Anyway, moving on. For all her honorable warrior shit, she is probably just actually trying to play us. Maybe. It's possible. But I think she really means it. In any event, I don't think it really matters. Why not? Because I'm going to do it. I will put myself at the top of our list. I mean, I wouldn't expect anything less from Monika, frankly. And I will face her. Why, though? Because I want to. It would be rude, not to say cowardly, to refuse a challenge like this. I mean, yeah, I can see Monika take it that way. Plus, how often do you get to fight against one of the best fencers in the world? True. Plus, if I didn't fence her, one of you guys would have to, and that wouldn't go well. Need to save you guys from that. Yeah, she fenced a bout against MC when she came to visit. He did well for himself, but yeah, it was 15-0. Yeah, I heard about that part. Wait. Monika heard about it, and yet this is the first moment that Natsuki's brought up the challenge thing. But I mean, I suppose. I was gonna say I suppose she would have heard it from Ryan, but then again, Ryan isn't living there now, so I don't know. Anyway, heard about that part. Well, good luck. You're good, but she's gonna hand your ass to you. Most likely, yes. But what an experience it'll be. That's the spirit. Now, the next question is Natsuki going to mention that there was a wager on the line here? Da-da-da. So, I don't like your tone when you say that. I'm gonna need you to get at least 7 touches when you fence Kajiro. just casually dropping it like that. That's oddly specific. I mean, I'll do my best, but no, like, I really need you to get 7 touches. Oh no, what did Natsuki wager? Why? I may have bet her that you would. Do I need to know what the terms of the bet are? No, you do not, nor do I want you to know. Oh no. Oh no. Good then. But Natsuki, I'm not sure I'll be able to win your bet for you. I'm a pretty good fencer, but I'm not remotely on her level. Come on, can't you do, like, some intense training or something? Spend day and night practicing? What? Natsuki, you're just trying to get Monika out of doing that sort of thing. Day and night? Practice during reasonable portions of the day and or night that do not interfere with a healthy sleep schedule. I'm not going to change my training regimen. I want to keep practicing the way I've been practicing. What matters to me is steady improvement over a long time, not whether I'm good enough to do some specific goal right now, bet or no bet. Yeah, I guess that's fair. Sure you don't want to, like, do an epic training montage where you master the sword? Weapon? God, yes, sorry, weapon. And yes, Natsuki, I'm sure I'll do my best for you, though. Well, you gotta do you. I do. So, is that the only trouble you're in right now? Not trying to secretly hook me up with any other boys behind my back? Nah, just the one. You know, Monika, I'm still not sorry about that. I stand by it, or at least the general idea of it. Maybe it would have been better if I didn't keep it hidden from you, but I don't know. You needed to change. And you still do. I can't believe you just let him leave your house. I don't control him. He's free to stay or leave as he chooses. This isn't about whether he's free to stay or go. Of course he is. This is about you seeing him leave and doing nothing to show him that you would rather have him stay. Monika looking sad. Certainly this is another certified Natsuki moment trademark. Yep, it certainly is. And don't tell me you were fine with him leaving. I am fine with him leaving, though I'll admit that I would rather have him stay. So tell him that, Monika. Like, seriously, I don't want to needle you about you guys being a good couple or whatever, but he definitely makes you happy when he's around, and you make him happy. Call that whatever you want to call it. But, well, this is curious. The letter B and U are capitalized, but the T is not? She's just... Usually when you do these block capital words, either block capitals. Think of it as well already? Okay. She just pronounced the T very quietly, I guess. If you want him to stay, then tell him. I mean, doesn't even need to necessarily be a you want him to stay thing. Like, I mean, if the goal is for them to see each other romantically, maybe living under the same roof is too much closeness. I mean, there's something to be said for having space, you know? Like if she was thinking of like actually asking about it on a date or something, that doesn't necessarily have to translate into, okay, and now immediately move in and live together. In fact, like, immediately moving in when you start dating, it can also be a red flag, frankly, and can be a source of its own problems. Anyway, moving on. And tell him. I don't know, it feels irresponsible, like I'm unduly influencing him. I mean, yeah, there's a power balance. I commented on the power imbalance before. The power balance is not just about Monika's knowledge of the simulation, the super reality, and all that, and the fact that she has a home and he doesn't. There are lots of imbalances there, but whatever. Anyway, I'm unduly influencing him. How is telling someone your honest feelings unduly influencing them? Yeah, and for that matter, what does the phrase "unduly influencing" mean in Monika's head, inside Monika's brain? I'm unduly influencing him. What about all the other influencing she did? What about all her machinations? Was that duly influence? What does it mean? What does that mean to her? What does she want? Does Monika know what she wants? I'm gonna move on. I think you're not being honest with yourself, Monika. I mean, that's the long and the short of it. Or maybe you don't even know what you feel, really. That's the long and the short of it. If you want him back, you need to say so. You can't wait to figure shit like this out. Either do something about it or it passes you by. ... What are you doing today besides tracking me down, anyway? Yeah, sorry for pushing you about all the Ryan stuff. I guess I'm not doing too much. Trying to figure out who else to invite to Yuri's tea ceremony thing. I need to come up with a few more names, but I can't think of anyone. Have you invited Ria? Oh, interesting choice. Reaching outside of the college? Oh yeah, that's a good idea. You think she'd be able to make it to the campus? I'd be happy to give her a ride if she wants to come. Don't worry about it. What about Kagami? Putting Kagami and MC in the same room together? I don't know. I mean, they're getting along better? Question mark? But anyway. She's really good company once you get used to her. No, it's not that I'm worried about. It's not that I'm worried about. It's just MC will be there too. It should be fine. They're getting along better. Maybe. Well, I don't know. If you don't like that idea, what about that cashier at the student union you're always talking to? I don't even know their name, man. Wait, really? Natsuki never learned the cashier's name? The student union cashier's name? And Automod just caught a bot in chat there. I'm just going to hit deny on that. There we go. I don't know their name, man. Well, you still seem to get along with them well. They don't have a name tag as the cashier? I don't know. I guess it's not that kind of shop. I think they fit in with everyone else just fine. Maybe so, yeah. It looks like something else is bothering you. Yeah, it is. You want to talk about it? Presumably the meeting with the dean and so on? It's not really anything new. Stuff you already know about. But sure. Yuri cut again today. Oh, okay. And it wasn't really about anything super severe, she just did. Like, as a normal reaction to pretty standard everyday stress. Overall, is she doing it less or more? Overall, I'd say a good bit less, but I've never seen her cut for such a non-reason. Usually she'd have to be pretty stressed out. So it's kind of concerning. Understandable. So let's see why you don't just say, hey, quit cutting and I'll quit smoking. I mean, I've been saying that all along for like the last 2 seasons. Bunch of reasons. Not sure I could keep my end of the bargain, for one thing. Not sure you could, or is it just that you don't want to? The first one. I really don't want Yuri to cut anymore. It really makes me feel, well, It's hard to describe. I think I can intuit that it's not a good feeling. Yeah. Wouldn't it be worth it then to trade? Yeah, it would be if I could trade, but I just could not. These stupid things really are addictive. Maybe. But if we're going to point out ways we're not being honest with ourselves, well, I mean, it's trading one difficult addiction for another difficult addiction, right? Anyway, not being honest with ourselves, well, I think if I were in your position, it would be very easy to tell myself that I couldn't quit smoking. That would relieve me from the pressure of actually having to put in the work and go through the suffering required to quit. I'm not saying that's what you're doing, just that it's really hard for me to believe that you, of all people, can't quit. Fuyuki quit. Fuyuki is not way more anything than you when it comes to this. You have every bit as much willpower and commitment. I think you could do it. That either you're not being honest with yourself about that, or you just really don't realize your own strength. But I think you could do it. And I also think that if you offered to do it, Yuri could be counted on to stop cutting, so long as you guys promised each other. No, I know she could do it. Monika, I really don't think I could do it. I really don't want to promise that to her and then have her finding me having a cigarette outside the room or something because I couldn't keep it together. No matter what I do, I want to keep my word to her. That's the least she deserves. Well, it's ultimately your choice, but I really think you could do it. I don't think you need to doubt yourself nearly so much, especially if you promise it to Yuri. I think that would practically guarantee you wouldn't. Well, enough talk about that for now. Sheesh, Monika. What? It's never known you to be so blunt, or at least not with me. You never would have just told me to my face a year or two ago that I was lying to myself about something important. Well, you've gotten a lot better at taking criticism. Sort of Yuri's grin expression there. Yeah, but you've also gotten a lot better at giving it. Yeah, I guess spending so much time with Kagami has given me an appreciation for brutal honesty. Interesting. Character development. Anyway, and hang out with me hasn't already. Madam, I am offended. Yeah, there are definitely some things that can only be learned from you. And speaking of Kagami... Knocking sound effect. Who is it? Me. Hey there. How'd it go? I guess it went okay-ish. He's letting me do the makeup assignments, but once I finish them, I have to do new assignments he's going to cook up, and those will be the ones that are on my grade. I mean, all things considered, I think that's pretty lucky for you. Yeah, it is. It's just going to be a ton of work, too. Guess I'm going to have to take it easy on the partying for a bit. Well, you've definitely been doing your share of partying recently. So, yeah, probably. But, hey, what is it? So, definitely work hard and don't overparty like you have been, but don't overcorrect either. I think it's still important to go out and have fun sometimes. Don't give up on doing parties sometimes. I mean, I wasn't planning on it. I said I would take it easy, not stop altogether. Why is it such a big deal to you, though? That is a trap of sorts, by the way. That whole feeling of I can't do this thing I enjoy until I get the coming back to that whole perfectionism talk. Getting trapped in the mindset of I can't do this thing I enjoy until I get this other thing done that I have to do, but then I don't get this thing I have to do done, and then I end up doing nothing. It's like, oh, I didn't even get to have fun while I was stressing out about the thing that I was supposed to do. Which is part of the reason I'm able to rationalize doing streams even though I'm currently unemployed. Whoops. I really do need to level up my efforts in the job search. Oh well, anyway, moving on. And why is it such a big deal to you, though? I don't know. big life lesson I've learned, I guess. When something big happens and you have to adjust, you tend to see it in real black and white terms. In due time. Yeah, so you say. It's been an uncomfortably long time. This is actually the this is the longest stretch I've been unemployed in my life. Actually, now that I think about it, I mean, aside from when I was a kid, of course. So it's uncomfortable. Like I'm not like on the verge of being homeless or anything. I you know, still have savings, and I still I have backup options. Do you not know the feeling? Oh yeah. But yeah, it might. The fact that I have other options and have savings might be impacting my work ethic in that regard. You know, like I have an unfortunate habit of leaving things to the last minute, and that might be something I need to work around. Deeply frustrating. But yeah, I don't know. Enough about that for now, I guess. When something big happens and you have to adjust, you tend to see it in real black and white terms, or maybe just I do. So like, there's a tendency to overcorrect, go too far in the other direction. I don't know. I guess that's been my experience. I just wanted to make sure you didn't do anything like that. ... Is it okay if I ask what the thing you overcorrected about was? Could we be having an interesting heart-to-heart here with some sharing of personal details, perhaps? A tendency to overcorrect, go too far in the other direction. I mean, I'm presuming he's talking about his interaction with Sayuri. And like trying too hard to be there for her, and on the level of having a panic attack and barging in on Ayami and so on. Anyway, is it okay if I ask what the thing you overcorrect about was? It's okay if you ask. That's a way of saying I don't want to tell you though. Yeah, I'd just rather not talk about it right now. It's about Sayuri's attempt, isn't it? Don't. I'm not blaming her for it. And I'm not blaming you either. I just figured that's what it was. Yeah. But you don't want to talk about it, right? No. Okay. Thanks. ... Kagami puts her arm around MC? Aw. I'm really sorry you had to go through that. Yeah. His eyes water, but he doesn't make a sound. You want to go get ramen? Yeah, sure. Thanks. Again. Oh, shut up and put your effing shoes on. Yeah. Duh. Okay. Thought maybe we're going to cut to them having ramen, but nope. I probably... This is a good time to end the scene. Alright. This is a... interesting selection of people for this scene. Oh man, I don't even know how long it's been with me and Megami. Just since senior of high school. Yeah, but that feels so long ago. Since senior year of high school, it's all three of them. for the first 3 seasons. Various folks trademark, yeah. Yeah, but that feels like so long. It feels so long ago. You guys are really good friends. Yeah, well, I'm still the odd woman out here. Fuki and Natsuki are sisters. Sayuri and Natsuki were friends way before me. Do you and Sayuri know each other, Fuyuki? A little bit. I've gotten to know her somewhat better while we've been in college. I don't think I've ever met someone so sweet. It's easy to be sweet with you, Fuyuki. You're like the kindest, most accepting person ever. Well, you know, I've got a lot of practical experience with acceptance. Yeah, I mean, low-key reference to her being trans, etc. What do you mean? Oh, is this Fuyuki's coming out moment? Trans stuff, I guess. I do a lot of work accepting myself. Oh, okay. Does Ayami already know that Fuyuki's trans? Has that subject already been broached? do a lot of work accepting myself, let alone trying to get other people to accept me. That sounds hard. Yeah, it is. Amy shifts uncomfortably in her seat. Uh-oh, is this going to be another point of Ayabi struggling to struggling to accept details about people around her and stuff? Sairi's expression seems to possibly suggest that she's cluing into that occurring, and maybe Natsuki isn't cluing into it yet. Anyway, it's okay, Ayami. Yuki really is super duper accepting. Something on your mind? I'm sorry, it feels rude to say. You're the first trans person I ever met, and I'm trying not to be weird or offend you or anything. I don't really know how to treat you, so I feel awkward. Well, I'm not a newly discovered species. You just treat me like a person, same as anyone else. Which is what you've been doing. Don't be all up on pins and needles about it. That's the weird part. Yeah. Awkwardness feeds itself, like I keep saying. And if you make some small mistake, that's cool. Everyone makes mistakes with other people. Yeah. Yeah, that's I hear that a lot in interactions with the trans community, that one of those things that comes up a lot is someone saying some off thing, like particularly when it comes to misgendering, like you say the wrong gender and then overcorrect and over apologize, like, oh sorry, oh no, I didn't mean to, oh it's just so hard to remember, sorry, and then you make it as a big deal when they'd rather prefer to just say, oh sorry, I meant she, and then move on. Apologize and correct, and don't make a big deal of it, because making a big deal of it makes it more awkward, because awkwardness feeds itself. and in turn, also, it potentially makes a trans person feel like they're being a burden. Like, am I really making it that difficult for people? It's like it's just a pronoun. Come on. You just say the right pronoun. It's okay. I don't know. That's what I hear anyway. Moving on. Yeah, I guess it's just that it's also... Also what? Come on, girl, get all your weird thoughts out. You can't just be awkward forever. I also just feel a little ashamed sitting here because of how I was. How I felt about Natsuki and Yuri. I see. Guess I understand how it would feel intimidating to have that out there and then be hanging out with Natsuki's loving older sister. Yeah, it just feels like I shouldn't be here. Oh, honey, of course you should be here. First of all, it's a thing between you and Natsuki. It's my business only to the extent Natsuki thinks you're a problem. If Natsuki thought you were a problem, we wouldn't be sitting here. If Natsuki says you're cool, no matter what weird feelings or background you're trying to shake. Everyone has to free their mind from some oppressive shit or other, and we've got to give each other grace to do it. Because all of us have worked through, or are working through, some problematic effing mindsets. Even me. Even Natsuki. What? Music fade out. Uh-oh. You okay with me talking about it, babe? Oh dear. Is this is she about to bring up some backstory of their relationship? It's already been mentioned a couple of times, maybe more than a couple of times, that Natsuki had some difficulty adjusting to the whole trans thing, and she named Fuyuki Goral in her in her phone contacts, just to remind her to use the right pronouns. Anyway, okay, are you okay with me talking about it, babe? Yeah, it's fine. It's your story to tell anyway, not mine. As long as you're cool with it. Well, Hayami, when I came out to my dad first. Ooh, we're getting the deep cut backstory here. That was probably a mistake in retrospect, or maybe it wouldn't have made a difference, who knows. He didn't accept you? No, he didn't. Really, it was more like he couldn't accept me. Like I was his only son, his firstborn, I could never be anything else to him. And that's what he said? I try not to remember exactly what he said, but yeah, more or less. But to be honest with you, that's kind of what I expected from him. Just had no ability to deal with it. By the end of the conversation, he was crying and talking about the whole situation like I was doing it on purpose to hurt him. That sounds painful. I'm sorry. Well, he got better. He loved me. He was just, for a while, he could see past loving me, not me, but who he thought I was, his firstborn son and so on, but he got there. But the one that really matters for this conversation is Natsuki. Now, before anything else, you need to understand that no one is more important to me than my sister. Absolutely no one. Not my mom, not my dad, not even my partner. Natsuki is the single most important person in the world to me because we've been through everything together. Aw. And I would both die for her and kill for her, and I'm pretty sure that's how she feels about me. Natsuki neutral expression. Anyway, always. So, yeah, the person I cared most about when I came out was her. I remember I spent so many nights staying up, racked with anxiety and fear. What if Natsuki hates me? What if she only wants a brother, not a sister? What if we drift apart? Sometimes I start finding myself wishing that a car would hit me or something, not because I wanted to die, but because then I wouldn't have to choose between denying myself or risking my sister hating me for my choice. Sorry, a little more heavy than I wanted to get there. So, anyway, eventually I stopped checking out and decided to tell everyone. And I tell her a few hours after I tell my dad. And at first, she didn't even believe me. She thought I was pranking her. But then as I kept pressing the point, I could see it was sinking in, that she was understanding I was serious about it, and when she finally got it, she didn't cry or yell or anything like that. She laughed. And I eventually came to realize she was laughing because the idea was ridiculous to her. She thought of me as so quintessentially male that me being a woman was a joke, whether I meant it as one or not. It's not that she hated me, or that she only wanted a brother, it's just she could not even begin to conceive of me as anything but a brother. And that was actually the most hurtful reaction I got from anyone, because with my dad, you see, for all his crying and yelling, it was grief, not rejection. He couldn't be supportive because he was in grief for his son being gone, which after all was a sort of acceptance that I was a woman. But Natsuki's reaction told me that she actually thought it was impossible for me to be a woman. And that was tough at first. I'm still sorry. And I've already told you that once is enough as apologies go. Shouldn't really apologize at all. Even if you had really wanted to, I don't think it was even possible for you to understand and accept things. You're, what, 9 or 10? Yeah. See, there you go. Can't possibly be your fault, as usual. I mean, yeah, I mean, it's a kind of tough for some adults to grasp, let alone a 9 or 10-year-old, so, yeah. But see, I mean, even Natsuki here, who you yourself are worried you're being a bigot to, she's had the same kind of thoughts, the same kind of shame. And she didn't like it, and she lived with improving herself, and she learned and improved. That's the part that counts. Not whether you had the icky thought in the first place. But like you said, Natsuki was 10. I am 19. You're exactly the age you need to be to work on whatever you want to work on about yourself. That's really all that matters, is improving. Feeling shame is nothing. We all feel shame. You lose when you crawl in the hole and hide because of the shame. Because then your little bunker starts to feel comfortable, and then you start to find ways to entrench yourself in things you used to be ashamed of. And you tell yourself those things are good things, but if you go through the pain of growth, if you even try to, you will get there. And as long as you're on that journey, you're a friend of mine. I mean, do you hate me or the fact that I'm a trans woman? Of course not. You seem wonderful. And do you hate my sister or relationship with her girlfriend? No, it just feels strange and hard to get used to. I totally get it. There are a lot of strange things in the world. Music fade out. Probably a lot of things way weirder than we know. Even as she was saying that line, strange things in the world, that it almost felt like a segue into the whole nature of the super reality and so on. And Natsuki and Sayuri's reactions suggest that that's what they're thinking. Probably a lot of things way weirder than we know. And you just gotta roll with the punches. As long as you're not hating people, you're being honest with them, you're growing. And if you're growing, you're winning. In fact, you're here sitting with us, even though you feel awkward about shit, is cause for celebration, not for shame. Natsuki talks to me about you a lot. You've been a good friend to her. Oh, does she? Oh, yeah, big time. She tells me all the time about how she loves you and how you two are best girlies. Natsuki looking unimpressed. That's not what she tells me. Well, you know, I might have been reading between the lines a little bit. Oh, hey, look who just walked in. Oh, it's Monika. We should go pull her over to our table. Might actually not be the best time for that, sis. Oh? She probably wants some time to herself. Plus, I've already bothered her enough today. Why? What's going on with her? A lot of things. But the big one is with that boy. You remember how that one guy liked her and then moved in with her? Yeah, what happened? Well, he moved out. Both of them are saying it wasn't because of any hard feelings or even a problem in the living situation, but she's just thinking about it a lot. No idea why they got weird though. I did ask Riot out. Uh-oh. Well, you know, kind of wondered when that was going to come up. Oh man, ad break starts in 4 minutes 15 seconds. I was kind of hoping to get to the end of the scene and then wrap up the stream, and having an ad break here makes it awkward. I don't know. Shoot. I'm gonna press on. What? Why? It's been months. She hasn't asked him out in all that time. And he's so nice. I thought, you know, are you gonna bring Ryan over to the room? This is a blush from Sayuri. No, I didn't ask him out like that. I asked him out on like a regular date. On like a regular date. I think he's special. You mean you think he might give you that special feeling of fulfillment you've been looking for? In Terabang? Question mark exclamation point. Yeah, maybe. I've never really met a guy like him. Only what? He didn't really give me an answer at first. He had to think about it a long time before he said yes. He seemed at least a little interested, but I don't know. He really does care about Monika, I think. And Fuyuki just ran off? Is she coming to invite Monika over? Yeah, I did want to... maybe I will go through one more ad break's worth. I did want to comment a little more on about the trans thing. Because all I can think about is Abigail Thorne's coming out video. Into the capitalism, yeah. I won't go too long after the ad break, hopefully. Although I do feel awkward about wrapping up immediately after an ad break. I don't know. Anyway, I do have some things I wanted to say. But yeah, Abigail Thorne from Philosophy Tube, the showrunner is of Philosophy Tube, the YouTube channel. A good channel, by the way. Watched. I'm gonna say I watched a majority of her videos, but yeah, she's trans, and for the first 6 years of her video, she presented as male, and coming out as the decision to come out as trans publicly was like a really big deal for her, and something that apparently a lot of careful thought and planning went into, and she did a video on the subject. But yeah, like she really struggled, according to that video, she struggled with that notion of she would get a lot of letters and messages from fans and so on, saying that how she was a fantastic example of like what a man can be like, and you know, like non-toxic masculinity kind of deal, and she's like, yeah, I'm sorry, but that's not me. Like, you know, she felt guilty about you know, transitioning. Like she feels like that's, people have this notion of her in their heads of what she is, and like, you know, as a, you know, masculine person, and like she's like, you know, that's, it's not how she sees herself, that's what she wants to be, and like that whole thing that Fuyuki was going on about, how Natsuki had difficulty accepting even the concept that she could be anything but a boy was hurtful to her. Anyway, hold that thought. I'll say more after the ad break, which is imminent. I'll be right back. And I'm back again. So yeah, getting back to what I was saying. Yeah, the showrunner for Philosophy 2. Welcome back. Thank you. Yeah, Abigail Thorne. Yeah, she came out as a trans woman at one point after presenting as male for 6 years on her channel. And of course, in true to her usual form, because she likes to cite scholarly references when she does her videos when talking about philosophy and whatnot. She did so even in her coming out video, and talked about I think she made reference to some work entitled the man who wasn't there. I think it was just figuring out how to reconcile the feelings that arise from like being told that you're a man for a lifetime when when how do I phrase this? It's been a while since I watched the video. Like how to come out as trans and present as a woman after being told to they're a man for your whole life, she's had a lot of trouble reconciling that, basically. She hasn't gone into huge detail about her struggle, although she sort of implied that it led to some suicidal ideation, because she felt like she could never be what she wanted to be. But yeah, I don't know. But that whole notion that Fuyuki is expressing above here, off the top of the history, because I let it go too long. Expressing that notion of it being hurtful that Natsuki couldn't conceive of her of being anything other than a boy. I can. I can. What am I even trying to say here? I can understand where it's coming from. I'm just like you look at Abigail's earlier work. I mean, she did a lot of things that seemed to be like intentionally presenting as masculine, like including like growing a goatee, for instance. Which it's I kind of look back. I mean, now she's been out for as trans for a few years now. Like she's been presenting as a woman in how long has it been? It might actually she might actually have be out as trans longer than she was presenting as male on her channel. Now that I think about it. It's really at a point where like it would feel weird to see her older content and see her presenting as male. It's like it doesn't look like her anymore, She's like changed a lot, I guess what I'm getting at is like I can sort of understand the like looking at her earlier stuff and going like, how can this person present as anything other than a man? But it's like, no, really, trust me, they can, and convincingly so, I don't know what I'm getting at here. I suppose on some level I want to sound somewhat encouraging to people who might be trans in the audience, or thinking about their gender in a certain way, and it's like it's never too late to make that change, to make that transition. It's it's easy to feel like, particularly if you've like already gone through through puberty, it might feel like, oh no, it's too late. I've already progressed in a certain direction in bodily development. But plenty of people do their transitioning later. I don't know where I'm going with this. I guess I kind of wanted to talk about it, and it's really neat that this mod tackles it. I guess. Fuyuki being trans has sort of been a detail that's sort of been in the background for a long time in the mod, and having a scene that puts it front and center is kind of neat. I think it's definitely a favorite character. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I get the feeling like in Abigail's case, I mean, some details I can only infer from context, but I get the feeling that she tried to present herself as extra masculine to compensate for the the feeling or the assumption that she that transitioning was something that I get the feeling that she had a long stretch of time where she assumed that transitioning was something she couldn't possibly do, and so she tried to overcompensate by being extra masculine. I kind of look back and I go like, oh man, why did you torture yourself with that goatee? Like, I mean, I'm cis male, and I'm feeling this now. I'm like, oh man, I need to shave. I much prefer the feeling of being clean shaven. Why would you do that to yourself? I don't know. But yeah, I don't know. It's I guess it kind of comes with a somewhat conservative upbringing and so on. both in my case and does Abigail have a conservative upbringing? I'm not sure. I mean, she's hinted that she has a strong inclination towards certain ideas of masculinity, I suppose. Society has a lot of weird ideas about gender roles, which can be difficult to unlearn. Yeah, I don't know. Gender roles have always been bullshit. What can I say? The whole notion that boys have to be a certain way, girls have to be a certain way because they are boys or girls. It's just always been nonsense. To me, it was before I had the language to express it. Delicious gender roles, yeah. Yeah. I have seen there was a post on Tumblr a while back that was talking about gender roles spelled ROLLS, but it was like rolls on a dice. They had there were. I can't remember. Like there was if it was D6s or it might have been D20s. Like it was like a D&D thing. And each number represented a word to represent their gender. I don't know if I'd be able to find it now, but it was pretty funny. Yeah, they'd roll the dice to decide what kind of a character they would have in D&D, and it was like some of it was referring to like some numbers refer to gender identity and sexual orientation and other details about their lifestyle or whatever. not that sexual orientation is a lifestyle. That's something. That whole notion is something that certain, I'm going to say, bigoted people, or even not even necessarily bigoted, some well-meaning but ignorant people will refer to being gay as a lifestyle choice because they think that sexual orientation or gender identity is a choice and not just something that people feel. I'm getting way into the weeds of this conversation, this tangent here. What am I trying to say here? I don't know. Gender roles are nonsense. Do whatever you like. Do whatever makes you happy. That's the most important thing. Yeah. Some people get really hung up on the stuff to do with gender, whether it's who you like, what you identify with, or what identify as, or who you're attracted to, or whatever. And I just feel like everyone should just live and let live. Anyway, I've rambled on enough about this. Moving on. Fuki just ran off for some reason. Hey, where are you going? I'll be right back. Gonna talk to Monika. Huh. Da-da-da. Yeah. So, I should mention that me and a bunch of Monika's other friends were trying to get her and Ryan together. Was Ayami not aware of that? Oh, well, that's awkward, sorry. I mean... I suppose Ayami might not have known specifically that people were trying to get them together, but, she wasn't part of the original group. I mean, she's certainly, like, in the conversations with, between Ayami, Kagami, and Ryan, they seem to be egging Ryan on in that direction, but anyway. Oh, well, that's awkward, sorry. And I think that's you and not your fault. Like you said, she wasn't doing anything about it. And I definitely understand that you gotta shoot your shot. Is Natsuki gonna turn this into another scheme, though? I did. I wonder what Fuyuki's talking to Monika about over there. Oh, we're gonna cut across the room to their conversation now? Look, I appreciate it, Fuyuki, really, I do. The fact that you're looking out for me really warms my heart more than you know, but Ryan's choices are his own. I can't force him back into living with me. Not once during this conversation have I suggested that you force him to come back. Yeah, like, you could be talking about two different things here. I mean, there's asking him to come back for purpose of living together, and there could be, asking to go out. Like, you can do one without the other, and either one could be a suitable option, depending on the circumstances. Anyway, I'm suggesting that you persuade him to come back, but he's chosen to leave, and I want to respect that. Okay? I think maybe I understand what's going on here. I really do want him to stay, but you're too proud to ask. You want it to be his idea. There you go. Uh-oh. Fuyuki cracked the code. You want it to be his idea. I know somebody like that. Or somebody that I have suspected that I could infer to be like that. I don't know if I should say it on stream. I know someone who has let's just say has given every indication that she, like, there's certain people that she wants to be involved with, but she feels like it has to be their idea and doesn't want to make the first move. And it's like it's led to some fraught situations. I can't be specific. Yeah, I don't know. I probably shouldn't say too much about that. Just that I just think that I've witnessed this phenomenon in action. I guess is what I'm saying. Like, Monika needs it to be his idea in order to give her permission to do it, kind of thing. Anyway. You want him to think, oh wow, what a fool I was to walk away from living with Monika, and then come back to you all on his own. Men don't really work that way. Hey, what's this men don't really? Come on, it doesn't have to be a gender thing. Women are just as capable of making that kind of mistake. Come on. Anyway, especially not this guy. What does that mean? Well, you were talking about respecting his choice, right? Right. Let me ask you this. While he was living with you, did he make any feelings he has for you clear? That depends on what you mean. The fact that Monika even has to answer it that way. Remember, we've talked about this before. He needed to communicate to me that he was interested in being more than friends, if that's what he wanted. Forget about how he said it for a second. Do you know deep down in your heart, regardless of how he communicated with you, that he wants that? Yes. So then, if you know, he's communicated it to you. Monika just goes and admits that she does know that's what his intent is. How about that? But she's still hung up on yeah, but he needs to communicate in a specific way. Right? Yeah, I guess so. So do something about it. I think he's leaving because he's in love and he thinks it's not being reciprocated. He doesn't want to make things weird. That shouldn't be a reason for him to have to leave. He was safe there. I mean, it's not his only reason for leaving, though. Anyway, I guess he figures he can be safe somewhere else. Look, Monika, it truly is your business, but that boy seems like a pretty special one. That girl over there, Ayami, she knows it. And she basically sees it as you passed on him, so she's going to take a shot at him. If you don't do something about it, she's going to take him. You're going to wonder about what could have been. You're presuming I'm not okay with that. Well... I mean... Oh, there's so much I could say about this. I'm just going to move on. You're pretty good at hiding your feelings, Monika, but you're not that good. Anyway, your life, your call. I just thought I'd let you know. You don't have much time. As if Monika needs that pressure when she's under all that other stress. Anyway. You know, sometimes I really appreciate that you don't always have much to say to our views. Sometimes? I mean, considering how frequently she just dismisses anything we the players say, I wonder about that sometimes. Maybe it's more than sometimes. Anyway, if there's anything I have too much of right now, it's other people's opinions. Oh well. I'll need to get back to work on this. Monika gestures to her laptop. I really want this mod to be runnable when we get to the club, and I have about 20 minutes left. See you there. Oh, we got a timeline here. Oh, hey, we're at the club. And, you know, top of the club session, with the promise of Monika's mod coming up, might be a good stopping point. Full-time stop. Yeah. I don't want to start Monika's mod and then be partway through it. I think it probably deserves its own stream session. Yeah, lots of stuff established here. Cool. I mean, the whole trans talk with Fuyuki was kind of neat. Yeah, so a solid discussion of, you know, certain difficulties that trans people might go through that a lot of people might not think about. Good stuff, good stuff. Yeah, let's see about who to raid. Whoops. That's not what I meant to click on. I'm open to suggestions if someone wants to, Gosh darn it. The category for Doki Literature Club, I have to include the exclamation point on the end. There we go. I'm just taking a peek at anyone playing DDLC first. Although, like, I mean, I'm not really going to rate anyone unless they're playing mods. If they're playing the original, I've kind of lost interest in watching other people play DDLC for the first time a while ago. Except for Euro Brady, he's still cool. Home stretch, yeah. She was always, yeah. Yeah, I think I might just, Well, I saved it, right? Yeah, I'll just close that down. Yeah, I just need to. Yeah, I just need to figure out who to raid. I think nobody's super jumping out at me. I could just raid the Long Dark streamer. I mean, it's despite the genre change, or possibly. Let me just check something here. Oh, for goodness, freaking ad breaks. Maybe not you. What the hell? I'm gonna rate Tier Forged. Total genre change. It's the Long Dark player. Doing a Wolf Wrangler challenge is a it's a tough challenge. Oh hey, we are unable to raid Tier Forge at this time. Don't tell me, did the stream just crash? Or is it just, do settings not allow raids? I have a feeling he might have raids like disabled on his channel. Okay. Well, I guess we're not raiding him then. I mean, the Deadpool is also on. Sylph is also on. I try to like cycle through who I raid. I think I raided Sylph last time. Whatever. I'm just gonna just raid Sylph again. Just playing Raid and Watch, the fairy tale based roguelike game. It's fine. Yeah, but yeah, neat stuff. Yeah, the conversation with Fuki was neat. The interaction between Monika and the Dean was kind of neat too. Monika maybe meeting her match with someone who's also got some counter schemes, or maybe she was countering his schemes. I don't know. Some kind of battle of wits going on. Yeah, that rather strange conversation with Miss Ida. What was that about? What could that be about? There is also the possibility. I mean, it's kind of a meme at this point in the club meeting server. The notion that Miss Ida could be interested in Natsuki's dad. I mean, he's someone who has a connection with Natsuki and therefore might know about the fencing tournament, if indeed that's what Miss Ida was alluding to going to. I don't know. But yeah, I'm almost out of time. We'll see. I don't know. That's all for now. Until next time.